So for today's video, we are going to be looking at my favorite mechanical broadhead and ultimately my favorite broadhead overall. I mean, I just love this broadhead. This is the G5 Megameat, as you guys can see over this. Today we're going to be talking about everything that I like about this broadhead and everything I don't like about it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. My first thing that I like about this is that this comes with a practice broadhead that flies the exact same as your actual hunting broadhead will. And to me, that's huge. So when you're tuning a bow, you know, broadhead tuning, or just seeing if your broadhead's shooting like it should and hitting where your field points are, this is huge. So we'll get onto that, and we'll actually, you know, go into a full depth, in-depth shooting at 60 yards with this, so you guys can kind of see how it flies. I did not have to tune my bow for these broadheads at all. They shot the same as my, you know, my practice broadhead. My field points and them were hitting at the same spot, so I had really good success with them. I would give this broadhead a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, I haven't shot a broadhead in my life that I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the perfect broadhead. There's no flaw with it. Every broadhead has its flaws, and you know, this is no exception to that fact. I mean, it has its flaws, but it really overall is a phenomenal broadhead. Like I said, I've killed hogs, coyotes, deer, turkey, multiple animals with this. So when we unbox this, easiest way for you guys to do this, I know you guys see these shrink wraps from G5 and you guys are all stuck. Just take your hands and bend it out like that, and that'll pop a side out, and then boop, you can open it. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this out. This actually comes with, you know, a sticker inside, if I can get it out of this package here. I opened this package before, so there's a guaranteed way that I lost that broadhead, but this is going to come with a wrench, and the broadhead blades on this broadhead are actually replaceable, so you can change them out, and this is the tool to do so. 3 extra collars, focus, there you go, 3 extra little collars for your broadhead blades. Let me just spill them all over the place. And they're very effective. You know, their collar system works very well. I'll show you guys the broadheads here in 1 second. I'm getting ready to grab the field point out. This is what their practice field point looks like. You guys can see that. That looks pretty wicked in my opinion. I mean, this would actually honestly make a really good small game head too. If you're shooting squirrels, rabbits, anything like that, this would do very well. There it is. My favorite broadhead on the market. These are the G5 Megameat, and like I said, I cannot say enough good about these. You know, they're really good broadheads. They leave massive blood trails and wounds. I'll show you guys. I'll try to throw some pictures up here of past wounds and blood trails that I've seen with this broadhead. They do extremely well. And I really can't say enough about them, but here's what they look like, and here's what I like about them as far as their build. If you look here, I'll back up a little bit. This is a cut-on contact style tip. That tip right there that I'm showing you guys, if it'll focus, there we go. That tip right there is meant to be cut on contact. I like that a lot for the fact that that's going to help you a lot with penetration. You know, opening a hole before you get the real big surface area of this broadhead into where you're actually cutting and trying to leave a wound channel is huge for penetration. You know, the best way I can put it is like if you think about a dam, you know, if you put a crack in a dam, it's going to eventually build up and break. And that's kind of how it is with the front of a broadhead like this. And they come out razor sharp. Like the tip on this is sticky, so watch your fingers. This is not a broadhead to mess around with. And they also, the blades that they come with are always razor sharp out of the factory. That's just my 10 plus years of bow hunting that I've been a G5 guy my whole entire, you know, bow hunting career. I've been with G5 and I've never had a broadhead come out of the package that was not sharp enough to shave with. And these are no exception. They're quite sharp. One thing I do like about these as well is they are rear deploying. Rear deploying is going to help you with a lot of energy. These blades activate like this. Pull them out and they slide down. They have, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see the notches in there. Focus. There we go. You guys can kind of see the notch in the blade right there. That is so they can go on these blue collars. These blue collars are going to have little notches in them as well. I'll get this to focus one more time. And these blue notches are going to get them to focus, or not focus, excuse me. They're going to get them to lock in very well. You know, these blades, you know, when they lock in there, you know, you always have, they're not going to fall out. You know, they fit perfect and they do extremely well when they open. Another thing, so let's just say when this is completely open, you guys can look at that, and I'll put my hand kind of move that. You guys can see that bad boy right there. That is a giant broadhead wound channel. You see that right there? That's a big boy. You don't want that going through. You want it going through the deer, so be careful when you're around these. The reason why I like these, you know, if you look at other broadhead companies that are, you know, mechanical, their blades are more horizontal like this instead of being up for a slicing motion. And G5 is very good about that with this broadhead. As you guys can see the angle of those blades, they're in a slicing motion. So as that's pushing through a deer, it's going to have less resistance and less friction on the surface area of the hide, the whatever you're shooting at, you know, whether it be, you know, skin on a deer, you know, a summer deer coat or a thick moose hide, that's always going to go against it, you know, just perfectly cut it with the grain, and you're not going to have that much friction on that broadhead. So that's a big advantage to these. Now, one thing I like about these, on top of all of those other things I just said, is if this broadhead does not open, and I'll put the collar back on real quick so I can explain this in further detail. If you have, you know, there's a lot of questions about how a broadhead might fail and everything that goes into a broadhead failing. And this broadhead simply cannot fail. And I will explain why in 2 seconds once I get this on here. Perfect. So if you look, these blades are already exposed. I have to do nothing. So let's just say for some wild reason that none of these blades deploy, I'm still getting a cut-on contact, essentially a fixed blade broadhead out of this. Your blades are right there. They don't have to flip out. They don't have to cut a band in order to deploy and actually get the cutting surface to, you know, get outside the ferrule of the broadhead. You're going to actually have a blade that's going to be going through the deer regardless. That's a huge one for me on this broadhead, because, you know, if I shoot an animal with this, I don't have to worry about, well, is it going to open? Is it going to deploy? Is my band going to break? Are my collars on the top going to go off? You know, it's all, there's so much that goes into that. And I'll tell you this now, I've never had one fail. I have shot, last year I shot 60 or 2 hogs, a turkey, and a coyote with this, and I had not one of these fail. That's just huge for me. So that's enough of me ranting on about what I like about them, but you know, that's just a lot of reasons that you should consider this broadhead. I'll leave it linked down below so you guys can kind of check it out, and if you guys want to buy one, go ahead and pick these up, because if you're looking, my opinion on these, this is my broadhead to recommend. If you're shooting a mechanical, you should be shooting this. I don't know why you would shoot anyone else. That's just me on, you know, G5. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at this 60-yard field point, and we're going to go ahead and shoot a couple groups at 60 yards. I'll show you guys kind of how it flies. You know, I haven't shot it all today, so we're going to kind of see how it goes, but I'm going to shoot those right now. This is the G5 Megameat Practice Broadhead, and essentially what this is if you guys look, it has all these fancy dancy cuts and rivets in it that are going to give you the same deflection, drag, and ballistic coefficient that your actual broadhead is going to shoot like. It's very similar. In fact, it's actually the exact one. So when you're shooting downrange, you're going to get the same amount of drag. So if you're shooting a single pin sight, you know, your sight tape's going to be the same. So we're going to go ahead and shoot this at 60 yards. We have an antelope way back there. You guys can kind of see it. I'll zoom you guys in a little bit, and you guys will actually get to see me shoot 2 groups at 60 yards just to see how similar this flies to our practice broadheads. We're out here at 60 yards. I have yet to shoot an arrow today, and I'm going to start with the practice one right there. You guys can see. I'm going to leave no cuts in this so you guys can see how authentic this is. Hopefully I don't suck. I hope not, but we'll see. Grab my release out. This is no cuts, 100% raw. Have not let an arrow fly at all today. That looked pretty good. We're going to shoot these field points. I have 2 field points to kind of compare notes, see how they're looking. Hopefully they're flying the same. That one flew a little bit high, but that was my fault. I still think it's definitely a kill, but that one looked good too. I'm gonna try to shorten you guys up without ruining all this footage here. Let me see what I can do here. Oh, that didn't go too bad. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. You know, these broadheads, they are so effective and so usable for so many situations. Now, I will start by saying if you're shooting a mechanical broadhead, I would not recommend shooting any mechanical, whether it be the Megameat, the Sever, the Rage, anything less than 60 pounds with the mechanical. You know, I'm shooting 74 with a 30-inch draw length. I shoot a 498, actually 500 grain arrow, now that I think about it, at 307 feet per second. So I have a lot of room for error and leeway. You know, I have so much extra kinetic energy to get that broadhead to deploy like it should. So pretty much what I'm saying is you guys should mind your P's and Q's. Know your arrow, know the energy that you have going into it. This is actually a really good group for the first group of the night. So you can see, and I'll even go on the back side because I know these are all penetrating through. You can see there's the practice broadhead. They're all, you know, 10s and 12s, you know, on the exit there. You can't ask for anything, you know, better than that. You know, 8s on the entry, 8s and 10s on the entry, 10s and 12s on the exit. I always try to tell you guys, aim for your exit. That's the biggest tip I can give you guys when you guys are shooting live animals. Always aim for that exit. Have confidence in your bow, have confidence in your arrow and broadhead setup, and put that pin where it needs to exit and execute that shot like you should, and it's always going to take care of you, I promise. So I'm going to shoot one more group for you guys, and then we'll go ahead and look. I'll tell you guys those few things that I don't like about this broadhead, and we'll just go from there. So I'll catch up with you guys when I'm back done pulling these arrows. We're going to shoot one more group. I didn't shoot my last group all that well, so we're going to go ahead and see if it wasn't just me, which I know it was just me because I just shot a good group before that, but we're going to see if I can't make the correction. I don't know, the releases felt good, so sometimes that'll happen too. You know, you'll feel great, but you shoot terrible, so, you know, hopefully I can do a little bit better with this group here. That one looked a little bit right, but I think the line was good. Then again, I don't know, because it's 60 yards. It's kind of hard to see my arrows down there. I can see the target just fine, but my arrows are so small. It is getting a little bit dark, but like I said, that's no excuse. We're going to keep shooting, and hopefully I can, you know, make this group better than the last. I never like to end on a bad group unless I'm extremely tired and I'm just practicing bad form habits because I'm getting that tired and I can't really, you know, I just don't, my form's falling apart because I'm getting tired. I don't think that one was bad. It looked pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this last arrow. Some nights I shoot bad, some nights I shoot great. Most nights I shoot decent enough to kill an animal. I think that one was pretty good too. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. So we're walking down to our arrows, and yeah, that one arrow was definitely right like I thought it was. I think I can see it down there. Well, maybe not, I can't tell. I think they're all kills. Yeah, they're definitely all kills. Yep, we're good. Actually, that's funny, it's making a horizontal line right across the kill zone. You know, if you guys look at my first group, vertically I was shooting good, horizontally I was shooting good, and this is my last group. That just tells you one thing, or two things. One, my bow is tuned extremely well. You know, all my arrows were hitting the same and I was consistent with it. That's actually two things right there. And then the third thing, this broadhead is shooting exactly like my field points are at 60 yards. You know, that's definitely not a bad group there. That definitely would kill any animal that you shoot at, especially because those are all, you know, 8s and solid 10s and 12s on the exits there. So I'm super happy with that, or not super happy, but I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go ahead and take a look at this broadhead when it's on an arrow, and then I'll tell you guys what I don't like about it. And I don't have much bad to say about this broadhead, so let's go and I'll catch you right then. So this is what this broadhead looks like on an arrow. You can tell that just looks all sorts of deadly. I'll even open it up for you guys so you guys can see. 1 blade, 2 blade, 3 blade, don't cut myself. That's what's going to be going through what you're shooting at, so just a little thought there. Now, the one thing I don't like about this, and I hinted at it earlier, these broadheads typically are one-shot use only, and here's what I mean by that. Don't freak out. These broadheads, most of the time, you're either going to have to replace the collar, and it does come with replacement collars like I showed you guys earlier. It does come with replacement collars, so if you shoot it, typically you're going to have to take, you know, unless you have them in your bag, you're going to have to swap them out and put a new collar on. They typically break. You know, you hit bone, they have a lot of impact and energy going straight into them. That's a big one. Another thing is these blades are sharp and they are fairly durable, but every once in a while, you know, my problem mostly is actually shooting through a deer and shooting into like a rock bank or something like that. and the blades bend. But other than that, this broadhead is, you know, it's great. You know, I've never had blades break on me when I've shot an animal too, I should say that. They've never broken, you know, on impact or anything like that. They've always done extremely well going in and out of an animal. So that's a big plus on these. That's all I have for these broadheads, really. I can't push them enough. If you guys are wanting them, like I said, check the link down below. You guys are going to like them a lot, and I wouldn't push them to you guys if I didn't really believe in that product myself. And I really hope you guys check these out and have a good enjoyment out of them. If you use a mechanical broadhead compared with a micro diameter arrow, you're going to get a lot more performance out of there because you're having a smaller surface area pushing a bigger surface area, and it's going to be right connected to each other. So you're going to get a lot of energy out of that. The transfer from your arrow to your broadhead, the energy is going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of energy saved there. So just a little tip for you guys there. If you guys are interested in looking at my broadhead video where I test 5 other broadheads, including the G5 Megameat, click right up here on this video card right there. If you guys are interested in any of my other broadhead reviews and playlists, I'll leave the playlist right here. And you guys, if you're interested, leave me a like and comment. You can subscribe right there, and I will see y'all very soon. Yep.